Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Let's Talk Business. And I'm very excited as always to connect with you and share my views and my thought about the latest happening in Lloyd's of London. As you know, in this quick series, we are discussing about the TOM program and various projects which is running within the TOM program. So in this series, without wasting much time, in this series we are going to cover another program which is called the structured data capture. The structured data capture. We also call this as SDC, sometime as D. So we will see what is there inside the structured data capture and how this structured data capture is improving the quality of data and services within the London bureau market and London market. So in last session, a quick overview about the TOM program. What is TOM program? Why we are running TOM program? Why it is important to have TOM program in place for London market to stay competitive. So we discuss all those things in last session. If you have not gone through the last session, I will highly recommend you to go to the last session and have a good understanding about the TOM program. In this session, we are going to discuss about the structured data captured as we planned, and I'm going to give you a overview about the structured data capture so that you can understand that what sort of value this structured data capture is bringing in to the overall TOM program and overall London market modernization initiatives. Before starting, for those who are new to my channel, I'm Ravi Shankar. I'm having more than 14 years of experience in a business analysis. I'm largely associated with P&C and general insurance domain. Currently, I'm practicing in Lloyd's of London. If you have any query related to this session, you can reach me out at ravi.s.sharma@hotmail.com. And you can also reach me at my LinkedIn profile, which is linkedin.com/in/Ravi S. Sharma. Once again, I would like to extend my thanks to everyone who is giving me feedback, sending me emails. I'm really sorry I cannot capture all your email questions into sessions, but I promise that I'll continuously answering those questions in my coming sessions, and I will also promise that no question will go unnoticed. So, sole idea behind this channel is to have a platform where everybody can get a good information about the latest thing happening in the London market and insurance market. So no worries, I will manage your questions. Okay, before starting, just to refresh your memory, let me give you a quick history about the TOM and the SDC. So what happened in 2014? The London Market Group (LMG) they have realized that they need to do some sort of study in order to understand where they are positioned in terms of competitive advantage as compared to the rest of the world. So they engaged a group called Boston Consulting Group, is an American consulting group, and they started understanding the competitive position of London market across the globe. So as a result of this study, the Boston Consulting Group published a report called London Matters, and in this report they highlighted many different things, and they suggested that the London insurance market required a lot of modernization in order to stay competitive. And as a response to that report, in 2015 April, the LMG initiated a program called TOM, and TOM stands for Target Operating Model. One of the key objectives of TOM program is to modernize the existing IT setup within the London insurance market. And one touch data capture is to reduce the inconsistency and error is one of their key objective. As you know, the data is the center of everything what we do in insurance. So it is highly required or essential to have a quality data. So London Market Group they realize that they must have something in place which can reduce the inconsistency and error in the data. So they are very committed to achieve this. So as a result, SDC came into the existing, and SDC is one of the initiative under the London Insurance Markets Target Operating Model (TOM), and SDC services allow to capture the data in a standard way to reduce the inefficiency and inconsistency within the business lifecycle. So the sole idea behind the SDC is to bring some sort of standardization in terms of capturing the data, so that the data will give a clear picture about the facts, about the situation. In other words, it can help us or underwriter to understand the one face of the truth. It should not be like the truth can be seen in a different ways, in a different light. The data should present one single truth about the facts. Now, what is structured data capture in definition? So I will read the definition, then we will discuss about it. The definition itself is very straightforward and simple. The SDC is a simple online service that converts the content of various market documents into consistent electronic data during the risk placement process. Document can be submitted via various methods, including online portal and directly from PPL, which is a placement platform limited. We will discuss about PPL in later session, but you can understand PPL is a mechanism through which you can send the data to various channels. A global placement message GPL is then returned to be ingested into the existing PAS system, which is policy administration system, PAS system. The services is target over 98% of data accuracy at field level. So how to interpret this definition into a plain English in a colloquial way? So basically what is happening is SDC is a service which can take the data from different document like MRC, market reform contract, or market reform contract for endorsement, and various other documents, and then they will convert this data into the digital form, and the form of the data is GPM, which is global placement message. GPM is nothing but an accord standard. It's a accord GRLC messages, which stand for accord global reinsurance and large commercial messages. This program, which is accord GRLC, is the program what accord is running for the London market. And now, since the data is captured, converted into a digital form, now they can target to achieve the higher standards and reduce the cost as well as the error. So with the SDC service, they are targeting more than 98% of the data accuracy. But now we will see, in order to understand this in full context, we need to understand what was happening before and what will happen after SDC. So we will see in next slide. So this is the SDC high-level process. What is happening in SDC? So you have three stages over here. You have a submission, then you have a processing, and then you have an output. During the submission phase, you provide some input data into the SDC services, okay? And the SDC service will do a processing which include the OCR, auto extraction of data from different documents. OCR stand for optical character recognition. It's a technique by which system can able to understand the character written into the documents. And then within the SDC service, you have a quality check. And after doing the quality check of the data, of the digital data, the SDC service will produce the output in the form of GPM messages. GPM message. Let's see what is written over in slide. So document can be submitted via various methods, including online SDC portal. So SDC service is also having a SDC portal where you can log in and upload the data into the service so that the service can consume the document. Then you have a PPL, which is Placement Platform Limited. We will discuss this service later in subsequent presentation, in next presentation. Then we have the Message Exchange Limited, TMEL. I discussed about this in my previous presentation. So this is a way you can send the data into the SDC service, and you can also send the data through email to the SDC services. So they have a dedicated email ID, and once the carrier send the document to this dedicated email ID, so SDC service will pick the data and convert it into the digital form. Now, what happened inside the processing? We know OCR is running and quality check is running, but we will see what is happening. The optical character recognition, OCR, auto extraction, OCR software extract the data based on the defined rule. So you have a defined rule to extract the data, say for example from MRC, market reform contract. Then what happens once the data is ready, once the data is extracted, this is not the end of the day or end of the case. A service operator quality control operates, validates, and conduct the quality assurance against the defined rules. So what happens? There is a quality department which will check the extracted data through OCR and see whether the data has been extracted within and as per the rule. And once they are through, once they are happy with the data quality, they will release the data back to the service provider in the form of GPM messages. Well, we call this as a GPM message, but actually this is not a GPM message. This is a Accord GRLC message standard. If you want to know more about the Accord GRLC, you can go to my previous presentations where I have specifically discussed about the Accord GRRC message and also Accord Richlicon messages. So now in this slide, it is very important to understand what was happening earlier and what is happening after adaptation of SDC services or SDC process. So the old process was cumbersome and a little bit repetitive. So what was happening? Broker submit the MRC to lead capture the data, the MRC data into their system, and then all the followers within the risk will capture the same data again and again and again and again. So say for example, if you have 6 followers, all the 6 followers will capture the same data 6 times. So you can understand you have a bad productivity, you have a chances of capturing the data in error, you have a data entry error risk is also there, productivity is also getting impacted. So many things because the process is repeated. And this is what I'm saying over here. The process of capturing the same MRC data repeatedly by lead and all the followers are redundant and prone to data entry errors. Of course, if you capturing the same data again and again, then there is a possibility of having manual data entry error. So what will happen after the adaptation of SDC processes? So digitized MRC data. So as you know, the SDC will pick the data from straight away from MRC, for example, and it will digitize the MRC data with the help of OCR technology. So MRC data is digitized and aligned with 140 master field, including 280 data items. So master field are field which will help us to drive right reports. So it is very important for us to understand or to capture the right master fields. So that's the reason the rules come into the picture. When the OCR technology is converting data from MRC to the digital form, this rule comes into the picture and they will ensure that the right master field is captured. Okay, then after making the data in a digital form, then an Accord global placement message is created and delivered to carrier for their policy administration services. So now you have a Accord message in place, and across the world, insurers are adopting Accord as their standard. And why they are doing it? Because when they adopt this standard, the exchange of information is very straightforward. So they don't need to change their application in order to consume the information which is coming from different system. So if you adopt the Accord, then the frictional cost of accepting any new messages is very low because both the system understand the Accord messages. Now after that, what will happen? The consistent data is available to all SDC subscribing carrier involved in the MRC. So now since the data is digitized and the data is available into Accord format, now this data can be used by all these subscriber of the risk. So this means that they don't need to capture the data again and again, which straight away improve their productivity. They will focus more on their key area rather than focusing on the data quality check and everything. So it will free up their time for data entry and which will increase their productivity and quality of service. So they will be very happy with this service because they are getting everything in a digital form. They don't need to capture anything, they just need to capture the data into their policy administration system, and the data is there in the GPM form, is the global placement messaging form. And this is what I said over here. They eliminate the redundant process and time is free up to concentrate on other value added activities like better underwriting, better services, better risk management, and all those things. Now, let's talk about the key benefit. Even though we are talking about the key benefit throughout our discussion, let me tell you once again the key benefit in a bullet point way so that you can understand in an easy way. So the data does not have to be repeatedly key in by multiple carrier. We know that because the data has been captured and converted into a digital form, and the data is now ready in a Accord GPM message format. So no need to rekey in data again and again by multiple syndicate or subscriber for the policy. The consistent data will shared through the placement process, improving the data quality and reduce future downstream error during the renewal or claims. I am sure that you all agree that since I have captured the data only once, then the data will give always a one face of truth, not like me capture the data in a different way and you capture the data in a different way. So this will help to reduce any sort of confusion and error during the renewal process, because I know what sort of data I have captured and every party within the contract understand the same data. The automate low cost MRC data capture will improve the productivity. We know for sure, no need to do a data capturing or data entry. Enable market practitioner to concentrate high value activities and potentially reduce cost. Of course, since now you don't need to worry about the capturing of data and data entry and all, so you will have more and more time to focus on your core business. The syndicate will be more than happy to focus on the core business, which is their underwriting. Electronic data in line with Accord GRRC standard, which is Global Reinsurance Messaging Standard, is supplied to carrier, contributing to straight-through processing across the market. Now, it's not only about the data capture, it's about putting the data into a standard way so that this data can be shared to multiple stakeholders. And Accord is the standard way of sharing the data. By the way, let me tell you, LMG has agreed principally that all their modernization activity will be revolving around the Accord messaging standard. So they are going away with all those EDI messaging standard and all those things. So Accord will be the center of their information exchange. Now the paper documents are automatically digitized, so less data entry is needed. Of course, even if the paper is out of the process, then no need to maintain the document, no need to maintain various different type of documents, which is sometimes very hassle and cumbersome. And complete risk can be seen in my or in carrier policy administration system faster than relying on manual data input, and more accurate data means better underwriting and decisions. So now since the data is readily available in the digital form, and if the syndicate is subscribed to the SDC services, then they can get the data almost immediately as soon as the data got converted into a digitized form, which means that they don't need to wait for the data to come to them and capture the information. The moment lead agreed with the content and the data is processed through SDC services, on the very next moment the data will be available to all the participant who is participating within the risk. Now, what type of documents are supported? So market reform contract, single section and multi sections are supported. MRC exempt contract in MRC format, endorsement current single section, and then delegate authority contract, which is binders authority contract, line slip, and master policy. If you don't know about the delegate authority and binders authority, I'll highly recommend to go back to my previous sessions to understand about this. And now, what exactly SDC supports? It supports all class of business. It supports Word, PDF, and TIF document types. The data extracted in Accord GRRC message format, XML format, and CSV. The portal, email, PPL, Accord gateway submissions are also supported. The PPL integration for the firm order contract, we will discuss about the PPL, but for sake of simplicity, you can understand that this is a platform through which you can send the data or information. Then you have DSET, binding authority contract submission. We will talk about the DSET. This is again another project within the TOM initiative. And then Brexit, Lloyd Brussels subsidiary submissions can also be supported through SDC. We will talk about the Brexit in a later session. It's a complex but interesting subject. And then it will help to have a better management information in place so that the managers and the stakeholder can take a better decision. So these are the sort of things which is currently supported by SDC. Now this is a quite interesting diagram which will give you a overall picture, how the SDC works. So let me explain you this diagram, what exactly happens. So carriers got a MRC, safe example. I'm keep on repeating this MRC, but this is not only limited to MRC. There are many different types of document available which can be consumed by SDC. But MRC is the most fundamental document when you're talking about the risk placement, and it stands for market reform contract. So once the carrier get the MRC from broker, they have a choice. So they can either use the PPL service to send this MRC document, which may be in a form of PDF, or Word file, or they can also send this PDF file to Accord Gateway by using the Accord DRI services. DRI stands for Document Repository Interface Services. They are the standard services which is provided by the Accord. Okay, then the carrier will send this MRC data either through PPL services or DRI services to Accord Gateway. Then this data will go through the TMEL channel, passing through the Accord Gateway and hitting the response and request services which is offered by the SDC. Okay, so once the data arrived into the SDC service in the form of PDF file, then there is a company called Cofex, and this company is providing this OCR extraction, auto extraction technology, and this OCR auto extraction technology will convert this PDF file into the Accord GPM messages, Accord GPM message, global placement messages, which is nothing but the Accord GRLC messages. Once the data is ready and extracted automatically through OCR, then the data will go for the quality check. And in this quality check, they will ensure that the converted data is according to the rules what they have defined. Either they are using the right set of master data or not. And there are certain other rules which need to be checked in order to make sure that the data is having a high quality standard. After that, once the data is ready, once the digital data is ready, or I can say that once the GPM message is ready, then the same GPM message will flow through Accord Gateway and pass the TMEL and reach to the underwriter. Now, if you can see, the data earlier was in the form of PDF, and if you use the PDF without any SDC, then you have to do a manual data entry in order to capture the data from PDF. But now this PDF service with the help of SDC is converted into a GPM message, and now what will happen, the carrier can simply consume this GPM message and their policy administration system will get updated. Straightforward. They will save a lot of time in order to do they will save a lot of time just to consume the GPM message. No need to do any sort of data entry. Let's quickly go through the key points. The A over here, A is here. Carrier can submit the MRC document to the SDC service in two ways, either from PPL. This is the PPL channel. This is the PPL channel. And the part B is carrier can also transmit the MRC from their own system. In both cases, the MRC will be delivered to SDC service using Accord DRI message via the TMEL. So, in both the cases, the message will be delivered in the form of Accord DRI messages. Once the MRC has been delivered to SDC services, it will be processed by COFAX services or COFAX OCR auto extraction services, and the relevant data will be extracted based on the rule. And this point is the extracted data will be transmitted back to the carrier using the Accord GPM message, which is nothing but the Accord GRLC messages. It's a very straightforward, simple process. But this, as you see, in helping London market to achieve better modernization and reduce the frictional cost and the expensive data entry processes and reduce the data error scenarios. This is all about the SDC. I hope you now able to understand what is the fundamental objective behind the SDC and what sort of value this SDC is bringing into the London market, and why this SDC project carries the strategic value for the London insurance market modernization activities. So that's all from my side this time, and I hope you like this session. If you have any queries, if you want to know more about it, you can drop me an email. I'll be very happy to respond you over the email, and feel free to reach me out. Goodbye and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.